What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I warned you. I told you. I said that this was going to happen, and it's playing out right before our very eyes, exactly how I said it was going to happen. And now you see more rappers and entertainers starting to come under duress. And here's my question. I wonder how many of these rappers or entertainers that we don't even know is, or people that are regular people, or people that are significant in the industry, or corporate executives, or business owners or entrepreneurs that we don't even see in the public eye. Because the only reason we learning about Ye, and the only reason we learning about the Dream, is because they are visible, they are public figures, and so anything that happens to them and it hit the news wire, people gonna send it to me and we gonna learn about it. But I learned about this last night. Actually, I learned about Ye yesterday, and I learned about the Dream last night while I was live streaming, and I was having a conversation about Ye, about the different women that they participated with and that they rocking with, that ultimately is suing them, and they trying to come up. And here's the worst part about it. For example, I know the Dream in particular, the lawyer that's suing him on the behalf of the woman that he rocking with is actually the exact same law firm and the exact same lawyers that was representing Cassie. Check it out. So, yay, he being sued for sexual harassment. And I don't know to the extent of how many different lawsuits he got going on, but it says that Kanye's legal troubles is piling up. On June 3rd, the rapper and designer's former assistant sued him for sexual harassment and wrongful termination. Lauren Pisciata, who worked for West for 2 years, alleges that he sent her sexually explicit texts, behaved inappropriately in her tenure with him, even though Ye hasn't publicly responded. Now, here's the thing about it, right? Is that you worked for him for 2 years. This woman was allegedly, now I could be wrong, this woman was allegedly an OF chick, meaning that she was online, doing her thing online, right? And then Ye rescued her, and he was paying her over an M a year, over $1 million a year. And then all of a sudden, after he allegedly hit it, and we're gonna deep dive into this in a moment, and he's no longer paying her or he cut her off, now she's suing him. Let's deep dive. According to a filing obtained by The Blast, Pisciata worked in the music industry for 15 years in various positions. West hired her as a creative collaborator on his Yeezy Season 1 women's fashion line, which came out in 2015, and she worked on his 2021 album Donda. Now, why would this woman be working on a fashion line and on an album Donda? In July 2021, she was hired to serve as Ye's executive assistant, personal assistant in connection with his business affairs, or with the business affairs. She said they agreed on a salary of $1 million a year, but she had to be available 24/7. Sound like a side chick, or a chick that you rocking with, or that you busting down, but you just want to keep her on salary, so you give her a little position. The year prior to being hired full time by West, she said she made $1 million creating content on OF and social media posts. Initially, West was okay with that continuing, describing Pisciata to people as an OF superstar. But in August 2022, he changed his mind, and she claimed he asked her to be godlike and delete the OF account, and he would pay her $1 million. She claimed, and she agreed. So basically, he went through and he simped and he saved her. If this is true, he simped and he saved her. Y'all keep on leading with y'all money, and I keep telling y'all that just because these people are famous or just because they significant does not mean that they are not simping, that they not over here paying these chicks, and you paying a chick that got a regular, and they all look the same. I wish I could show her to you, but I'm not gonna get into that because I just want to be able to, share this with y'all quickly. Claim he never paid her and started harassing her. Alleged he would send her messages that were sexual in nature, and did a lot more than that on the phone, on conversations with her. And he even sent her videos of himself. Alleged that on a plane en route to Paris, he called her into the room and closed the door. You got a different level of money if you flying on a plane to Paris and you call her into the room and shut the door. But that's neither here nor there. Which couldn't be open from the inside. How couldn't the door be open from the inside? All right. Anyways, uh, and then said she was promoted to chief of staff of West's various companies in September 2022, and was told she would be given a $3 million bonus the next month. She was offered a $3 million severance package, which she never received the money. So she ain't have nothing to say, no criminal complaints, no none of this, right? And I don't doubt even for a minute that he busted down. But isn't it amazing that none of these people ever have criminal complaints, but all of a sudden they seeking money and lawsuit money in the same way that a lot of these other women are seeking lawsuit money in order to come up. And now a lot of people are going to say, well, that's fair compensation for a chick, going through what she went through. Says who? Says who? Goes on to say her lawsuit claimed West has an obsession with her and at one point moving into the building where she lived and stalking her after she was wrongfully terminated. She did not welcome or encourage these acts, text, videos, or statements, and she's suing for at least $4 million, including citing breach and a hostile work environment. Now, let's flip over to the dream. Record producer and singer-songwriter accused of busting down a woman in a new lawsuit says he's accused of trafficking, sexual battery, and so on and so forth in a lawsuit that was filed Tuesday. This is crazy, bro. According to the complaint, this woman used his age and influence. She's saying that he used his age and influence in the music industry to manipulate the staff, or manipulate her, the singer-songwriter from the Netherlands. So she wasn't even from here. She was on here, or she was over here for an extraordinary ability visa. I've never even heard this before. I've heard of work visas, but I've never heard of an extraordinary ability visa for a chick that's a singer. Okay, alleges that he lured her into an abusive, violent, manipulative relationship, followed with physical assaults and violent sexual encounters on horrific. You see the adjectives that they use in horrific psychological manipulation. On one occasion, alleged that he bust her down in the van, and the same evening he forced her to engage in acts in a public movie theater. So did you go? Was you rocking? Was you rolling with him? And was you absolutely doing what you was doing with him? Or what for the promise? Also, because you wanted to be in the spotlight, you wanted to be in the movies and all of this stuff. And again, all of these women look the same. He goes on to say these claims are untrue and defamatory. I oppose all forms of harassment and have always strived to help people realize their career goals. As someone committed to making a positive act on my fellow artists and the world at large, I'm deeply offended and saddened by these accusations. This is horrible, absolutely horrible. But here's the thing, though. This is what I want y'all to see. Well, let me add a little bit more context. She was 23 at the time, so we can throw the whole age. He uses age out the window. Alleges in a lawsuit that he promised to help secure recording and publishing contracts for her, write songs for her like he did for Beyonce and Rihanna. And instead, he subjected her to violent sexual acts and vicious psychological torture. Controlled out all aspects of her life, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing, right? I want y'all to see this part. And y'all would miss this because the only thing that we would talk about, and I think that I'm gonna go even deeper on this in a Instagram live later on today. We're gonna deep dive into it. This is yet another horrific example of how men in the music industry use their power and influence to manipulate and harm others. Her attorneys, Douglas Wigdor and Meredith Firetog. Now I know that y'all may laugh at the names, but check this out. Wigdor and Firetog also represented Cassie, or represent Cassie Ventura, who sued Diddy in 2003 for rape and abuse. So they already got the play. They already got the finesse. They already know how they can go out there and do you dirty. And y'all just giving them a layup. And I keep telling y'all, and I've been advertising this and I've been talking about it for a long time. I said y'all have to exercise big discipline, make sure they sign the paperwork, stop leading with your money, and stop keeping people around y'all that y'all don't know and that y'all don't trust just because they bad. But it continues, just like I predicted. And this is bigger than Diddy, and y'all wanted to focus so much on Diddy instead of focusing on whether or not this was going to affect all men. Welcome to the Me Too Phase 2 era. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I can't wait to see what y'all say about this one. Link is in the description. In order for y'all to tap into the Patreon, I can't wait to read y'all comments. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Wednesday night, we're going to kick it. We're going to deep dive into this a little bit further. I'm going to holler at y'all later, man.